Tele-Aralan, Tele-Aralan.
Have you been asked to write a speech, but you don't know how to start and where to begin? Our major question today is, how do we write a speech? Let us open our minds and hearts as we are about to unfold the principles of speech writing. Good afternoon, students! Are you all doing great? What keeps you busy these days? How's your grades in the first quarter? I am sure you're doing amazing despite the new normal setup. I say you can do it, and you can do more. Since you are now working on your modules, I am here to help you out. My name is Teacher KERRA, and welcome back again to our oral communication class. Have you invited your classmates to watch today's episode? As they say, the students that study together pass the semester together. We already passed the halfway point of our learning competencies, and we're about to finish every bit of it today.
After watching this TV lesson, you should be able to write your own speech, proficiently deliver various speeches using speech writing, and realize the rigors of crafting one's speech.
But before anything else, what I'm about to do first is to test your knowledge based on your responses. I want you all to respond while you're sitting comfortably. This is what you're going to do. I want you to touch your index finger to your thumb like this if you think the statement is true. And I want you to move your finger left, right, as if you're saying no to the statement. Can we start? Let's begin.
Shift in communication process does not affect much in speech situations. When we change any of the four, speech style, speech context, speech act, and communicative strategy, it affects the language a lot. It gives a completely different impression to the listener but does not change the duration of interaction. Mass and public communication require an intimate speech style. Delivery refers to the manner of how the speech or message is presented.
Let us see if you get it right. Mass and public communication require a formal speech style, not intimate. Delivery refers to the manner of how a message or speech is presented. That is right. Shift in communication greatly affects the speech situations. In fact, when we change anything from the core, speech context, speech style, speech act, and communicative strategy, it affects the language a lot. Also, it gives a completely different impression to the listener and change the duration considerably. Great job! Remember that changing any part in the communication process brings change to the entire process. Now, I know that you are ready to the next level, but always look back to our previous lessons because they are all connected to our lesson today. Let me go back to my question a while ago. How do you write a speech? If you ask me, writing a speech needs perseverance, creativity, or even timeliness. If you haven't done it before, writing a speech can really sound intimidating and difficult. But don't freak out. With the right techniques, anyone can write a speech that will score well. First of all, what is a speech?
A speech is simply an official verbal presentation that is meant to achieve a certain goal. The aim of making a speech, or even writing one, is to convince your audience to buy into your idea or pay attention to your subject of discussion.
Long before, a teacher might have asked you to write a speech on a particular topic. Or you might have been asked to imagine yourself as someone else giving a speech to different audience. Well, according to Kaleidoscope News PH, just like any other processes, the first step in speech writing is planning. Effective speech follows a certain process. But mind you, the process for speech writing is not really chronological or linear. It is recursive. What does it mean? It means that, as a writer, you always have an opportunity to go back or repeat a writing procedure indefinitely, or writing so many drafts before you can settle to one focus.
The following are the components of speech writing process: audience, the purpose, topic, data gathering, and writing patterns.
Let us focus on the first component, audience.
Audience analysis involves identifying the audience and adapting a speech to their interest, level of understanding, attitudes, and beliefs. It is important because a speaker's effectiveness will be improved if the presentation is created and delivered in an appropriate manner.
The interest differs depending on the age of the audience. How old are the audience? Also, the gender must be taken into consideration. Are all females, all males, or a combination of both? There should be no bias if both genders are present. Audience knowledge of the topic can vary widely on any given educational background. Are they college graduate or still in high school? How about their economic status? Are they rich, in the middle class, or financially struggling? What do they do for a living? Occupations also influence their perceptions and their interests. If you do not consider all these, what will happen? Let us check this video.
Mars, asa yung ginastorya, Mars? Wala, ikaw kasabot kaya sige na mag-in-English. Kaning mga politiko naman ang di na lang yung mag-Bisaya. Kabalong wa ta ka-eskwela, di kita kasabot na anak. Wow, Jun! Ikaw na siya butuhan na!
After watching the video, what have you observed? If you were the politician, what could you have done? Excellent! The politician didn't plan well his speech. If you deliver a speech to a place where audience are less educated, do not be too intimidating and adjust to the only languages they know. For situation, we must consider the situation for which your audience is gathered. We must examine when and where it happens. This category is primarily concerned with why your audience is assembled in the first place. Remember that we have two types of audience, the captive audience and voluntary audience. Are they willing to gather just to hear you? Or have your audience members paid to hear you? I am going to show you two videos and I want you to identify which video is showing captive and which video is showing voluntary. From these two videos, which do you think is captive? That's right! The first video is captive. Captive audiences are required to be present or feel obliged to do so. On the other hand, a voluntary audience gathers because she or he wants to hear the speech, attend, and participate in the event voluntarily. However, there are situations with a mixture of both, just like your experience at school. There are times that you are so eager to listen in class discussions. But There are times that you become captive audience because you sometimes feel uninterested, right? The third category of audience analysis is psychological description. A speaker needs to determine the psychology of the audience. Your listeners have already different attitudes, beliefs, and values towards the ideas you're about to present. As a result, it is always important to know where your audience stands on the issues you plan to address ahead of time. Here are your keys to understand how your audience thinks. The first one is attitude.
In basic terms, an attitude is a learned disposition to respond in a consistently favorable or unfavorable manner with respect to a person, an object, an idea, or an event. Attitudes come in different forms.
You are very likely to see an attitude present itself when someone says he or she is pro or anti. But above all else, attitudes are learned and not necessarily enduring. Attitudes can change, and sometimes do, whereas beliefs and values do not shift as easily. Remember, attitudes are not as durable as beliefs and values, but they are good indicators of how people view persons, objects, ideas, or events that shape their world. The next one is belief.
Beliefs are more durable than attitudes because beliefs are more focused on ideals and not issues.
For example, you may believe in the principle, what goes around comes around. If you do, then you believe in karma. And so, you may align your behaviors to be consistent with this philosophy. That is why you do not engage in negative behaviors because you believe that it will come back to you. Likewise, you may try to exude behaviors that are ethical and positive because you wish for this behavior to return in kind. The last one for psychological description is values.
A value, on the other hand, is a guiding belief that regulates our attitudes. Values are the core principles driving our attitudes. If you probe into someone's attitudes and beliefs far enough, you will inevitably find an underlying value.
Let me give you an example. Let's assume that you are having fun with your friends, but it's already late. They ask you to stay a little longer. You like to party with your friends and truly enjoy it yourself, but you are torn between staying for fun or for being responsible. These are your own values. The next component of speech writing is purpose.
The purpose of writing and delivering the speech can be classified into three: to inform, to entertain, or to persuade.
Examine the general purpose of why you are speaking. Every idea in your speech should connect to that purpose. Do you still remember our previous lesson from the quarter 1 about the types of speeches according to purpose? This is the best time to recall it. These are
An informative speech provides the audience with a clear understanding of the concept or idea presented by the speaker. An entertainment speech provides the audience with amusement. A persuasive speech provides the audience with well-argued ideas that can influence their own beliefs and decisions.
When you are speaking about the coronavirus in a fifth grader, which do you think it is? Very good! You are using informative speech because you are providing information about the virus. How about when you are speaking about the health and safety protocols that they should follow to help stop the spread? Excellent! You are using persuasive speech to influence an appropriate action. Remember that the purpose can be general or specific. Understanding the general and specific purpose of your speech will help you develop and focus your speech to meet the needs of your delivery and of your audience. Our next component is topic.
The topic is your focal point of your speech, which can be determined once you have decided on your purpose. If you are free to decide on a topic, choose one that really interests you. There are a variety of strategies used in selecting a topic, such as using your personal experiences, discussing with your family members or friends, free writing, listing, asking questions, or semantic webbing. Here are key points to consider. Before you begin writing your speech, you must first establish the main topic about which you plan to speak. Brainstorm. You can try a variety of techniques to get your mental juices flowing, from clustering to free writing. Even just talking through your ideas with another person as a sounding board is a great way to get ideas. Once you start to get an idea of your topic, do a little research. See what others may have written or said about your general topic. Reading their ideas may help you to some new ideas or directions of your own.
But a speech needs to be brief and straight to the point by means of making your main idea more specific and focused. We call this narrowing of topic. Another component of speech writing is data gathering. Data gathering is the sourcing or collecting ideas, information, sources, and references relevant or related to your specific topic. This involves seeking out all available means for finding materials to support the speech.
Good sources are newspapers, magazines, books, journals, or any reading materials full of useful information. Search engines on the internet such as Google or Yahoo may also be used. However, the best resource are people, especially the experts or those who are involved in the field to which the topic belongs.
As a writer, where do you find your sources? And the last component is writing pattern. Some people may find your presentation to be nerve-wracking or fun, all because you have created a pattern to organize your speech beforehand. These are the 5 organizational patterns that can be used when developing a speech to a group of people.
Writing patterns, in general, are structures that will help you organize the ideas related to your topic. Examples are logical, causal, chronological, comparison and contrast, problem and solution, and spatial. Logical or topical pattern. If you are giving a speech or presentation that contains several ideas that are interrelated in such a way that one flows naturally to the next, this is the best pattern of organization. As the name implies, you'll be organizing the information in a logical manner according to a topic. In time sequence pattern, information in a speech follows a chronological sequence, then the information should likewise be organized chronologically. Spatial or geographical pattern. This pattern is suited for speeches about a country or city, or even a building or organization, provided that the organization occupies a specific geographical location, such as a hospital or university. Causal or cause and effect pattern. This is one way of looking at the subject in terms of cause and effect. For example, a speech about providing foreign aid to victims of a natural disaster in another country would discuss the disaster itself. That's the cause. And the impact the disaster had on the nation's people is the effect. Problem solution pattern is similar to the cause and effect pattern, but it is typically used when the speaker is trying to persuade the audience to take a particular viewpoint.
From today's lesson, what are your takeaways? Always remember that there are several components of speech writing. The first one is audience. That's right. Do not forget that the audience analysis needs to know the demography, situation, and the psychology of your audience. The second one is correct, the purpose. Do not forget that we have titled speeches according to purpose. These are, let's do it together, informative, persuasive, and yes, the entertainment. Our next component is topic. To make it straightforward and focused, a writer must, what was that again? That is right. A writer must narrow down the topic. Remember that the topic is your focal point of your speech, which can be determined once you have decided on your purpose. Let's recall again another component, that is the data gathering. Data gathering is like sourcing or collecting ideas, information, sources, and references relevant to your topic. This involves seeking out all available means for finding materials to support your speech. And the last, but definitely not the least, writing pattern. Writing patterns, in general, are structures that will help you organize the ideas to your related topic. Examples are logical, causal, chronological, comparison or contrast, problem solving, and spatial. I know it's a little rough today. A few weeks from now, you will be asked to make a speech of your own. Isn't that exciting? Today is a worthwhile in oral communication. Catch me again next Wednesday for another round of learning. Don't forget to call and invite your classmates to watch PTV48 on their televisions or via Facebook Live every Friday from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. This is again your teacher, Mom KERRA, reminding you to stay home, stay safe, and always pray to God. Bye!